In this lesson, we're going to take a look at exponential functions and how to tell from their equation whether they are increasing or decreasing. So the first thing you're going to do is take a minute. There are 4 graphs here, and what I'd like you to do is take a second and see if you can answer the question. It says, using the graphs above for reference, explain in words how you can determine whether a function is increasing or decreasing just by looking at the equation. So if you only had the equations to go on, how would you know if it was increasing or decreasing? So what I would recommend you do is pause the video for a second, see if you can answer that question, and then come back when you're ready. So hopefully you paused the video and you took a minute to see if you could figure out what's going on here. And I'll share with you what I wrote. What I said is if the base of the function is a whole number like 2, it's going to be increasing. And if the base of the function is a fraction like 1/2, it's going to be decreasing. And if you have a reflection, so if you have a negative in front of that bracket, what it's going to do is switch it from increasing to decreasing or decreasing to increasing. So if it was increasing to start, a reflection makes it decrease. If it's decreasing to start, a reflection makes it increase. So what you want to do when you're trying to figure it out is you look at the base first, see whether it should be increasing or decreasing, and then look for a reflection and then see whether that's going to switch it. So we're going to take a look at a couple of examples. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so that they're a little bit bigger. So it says, determine whether each of the following is increasing or decreasing. So the first one here says y equals 3 times 5 to the power of x plus 2 minus 4. So there's a lot of things going on here. There are transformations, but what I'm really interested in to begin with is the base. I look at this, I see the base is 5. It's a whole number, which tells me that it should be increasing. And then I look to see if there's a reflection in front, which there is not. So I'm going to say that this is increasing. To take a look at the next one, I have y equals 8 times 1 over 11 to the x minus 9 plus 2. So we don't care about the left, rights, the up, downs. We really just care about the base and whether or not it's a reflection. So I see that the base of this is a fraction, which tells me that it's going to start out decreasing. And then I look to the number in front. It is not a negative, so it's not going to change. This is just going to stay decreasing. If we move over to E and F, you're going to notice that we're skipping C. I'm going to ask you to try that one on your own in a minute. So if I take a look at E, I have 1 over 4 times 3 to the x plus 16. So if I take a look here, I look at my base, which is a whole number, so it should be increasing. Now there is a fraction in front, but the fraction's not the base, and it's not negative. So this is actually going to be increasing. And then if I take a look at F, I have 1/5 times 1/2 to the power of x plus 3 plus 5. So I look at my base, which is the one that has the exponent attached to it, right? The 1/2, which means it should be decreasing. And then I don't see a negative in front, so it stays decreasing. Now, if I did see a negative in front, it would switch to increasing. So I realize that none of these examples that I picked here had a negative in front, but I would like you to try the 4 at the bottom, so C, D, and then G and H on your own. So this would be a good time to pause the video, take a second, try them out, and then we'll check in and see how you did. All right, hopefully you did pause the video and try the questions. So if I take a look at these ones, this one here had a base that was a whole number, which means it would have been increasing, and then the negative sign would switch it to make it decreasing. All right, for this one, I have a fractional base, which tells me it should be decreasing, and then if I look, I don't have a negative in front, so it just is decreasing. That doesn't change. If I take a look at these ones, I have a whole number as a base, so that would be increasing, and then that negative sign is going to switch it to make it decreasing. And then I have a fraction here, which would be decreasing, and then that negative in front is going to switch it to make it increasing. So you have to remember how to do it. You have to remember that a whole number base is increasing and a fractional base is decreasing, and that the reflection is going to switch that. But once you get the hang of it, it's not so bad. So, well, I'll see you again in part 2, where we take a look at doing a little bit of graphing review.